Hi Elias and all the rest of you good people out there who are interested in the question regarding rebase part from another part that was posted on the forum. We do not have the full extent and do not fully understand exactly what needs to be done here and why. I do understand the rebase. There are several ways of doing this. Obviously, if in managed mode and if we're talking revision, the easiest way of getting what is in revision 2 to revision 1 would be to copy and paste the part data set from revision 2 to revision 1 and potentially keep track of what not should be changed between 1 and 2. That would be one way of doing it. You also have the possibility, and I think that might be the way to go here still, since it is mentioned that we're talking about potential 2 different parts, not necessarily revision-wise. Then I would assess the way to do this with interpart linked entities, and that is probably the way to go. However, if you for some reason needs to keep the 2 revisions or 2 different parts with parameters and different parameters for some reason, this would probably be the way to go, what I'm about to show. So here I have created a simple example. We have a P1, obviously revision 1. It consists of a block in a chamfer and a standard datum coordinate system there as well. The revision 2 has evolved a bit and consists of the same block, an edited chamfer, and additional 2 holes. And what we want to do is we want to update those 2 holes and bring them back to revision 1. Now, bringing back stuff to revision 1, that needs to be handled with care. As a revision 1, if we're talking revisions here, revision 1 is time capsule, if you like. It is what the part looked like when it was frozen at revision 1. And normally that should not be changed for traceability reasons. So that should be kept as is. Now, if there really is a requirement for updating revision 1 for some reason, it can be done, but it has to be done under administrative privileges. If in native mode, obviously you can do it, but you have to still have write privileges to those parts. If you have restricted your parts to write privileges, which would be a good thing if we're talking revisions here. So anyway, there is more to it than just doing the change that needs to be considered when doing this operations. So anyway, we have revision 1, we have revision 2. Now this is very simplified and it's easy to figure out what has changed between the 2. If this would be a larger part with way more features, it could be a little bit more tricky. Hence there is a functionality for doing this called body compare. It contains a lot of tools under the surface that you might not consider. So if we in the assembly level do execute this body compare, we take the first body, the revision 1.1, and we select it with, or compare it with the revision 2. If we use the default settings here, we use the face, we do a compare here. We can see that we have a color scheme here saying that red is absent. Normally when I analyze this the other way around from 2 to 1, there would be absent features that did not exist. However, doing it in the normal order, comparing revision 1 with revision 2, this is not, maybe not that it's not that it's going to be absent. So then we have changed faces, which is colored blue, and we have new faces, which is colored green. And the same colored, or the same faces that has not been changed, they are gray. And they are not only gray, but they are also transparent, just to make it easier to see your actual changes. The blue faces that has been changed, well, we know that the chamfer here has obviously changed size. However, the side faces here are touching here and has been reduced in size. They become smaller, which means that they are modified. Hence they are shown in blue color and modified. All good so far. If we do a distance map, we might even get a better or easier to read result, I should say. We can identify the areas that have changed for sure. So we can see that, yeah, the chamfer have changed size and the holes have been added. So these are changes that has taken place. We go back to the face, because we can also do a report on this. So if I click on report, we can see that we have a feature comparison as well. We have stuff that have changed. The block might not appear to have changed, but the size have of it. And we can see that new features have been added. I should do it that way. New features have been added in the form of hole 3 and 4 to the revision 2. We can also see that we have some expression that has changed. So in revision 1 and revision 2 we have the expression P10 that has changed. It happens to be 10 as well, but the name of it is P10. We cannot see exactly what has changed, but it has changed. We can also see completely new expressions in P1 revision 2, where we probably have the holes. And we can also identify that we have expressions that are the same in both versions. That is probably the block. And the parameters of that has not been touched between the revisions. So this might lead you in a direction where you can do the changes parametrically in these parts if you would be in a managed mode and you would copy and paste the data set to replace the one in under revision 1. Now, with that said, we also have the possibility. We now know that the holes here have been added in revision 2, but we would like those holes in revision 1 as well. The chamfer here, that is supposed to remain as is. We do not want to change that in revision 1. So that would be the remaining differences between revision 1 and revision 2. However, we would like those holes to reside also in the revision 1. So can we do that then? Well, yes. You could, of course, you could link these geometries. Now linking between revisions, I would not really recommend that. That means that you would have to plan for this and create a different structure in your environment. You will probably have to have a control structure and prepare for doing that type of operation. Now, if you have it like I have here, 2 revisions of the same part, and you do not want to change any of that, you could simply copy and paste those 2 holes from revision 1 to revision 2. So what I do is I could grab them from the part navigator, or I can grab them from the graphical window. I simply copy them and I bring them over to revision 1 and we do a paste. So we need to establish where we want these guys. We could specify new datum, or we can select parents. In this case, I'm going to select parents because I want to reparent this thing. So obviously, we have the revision 2 down here in this corner here shown. And that is identifying the face that I'm supposed to reparent this thing to. So we select the face. We move to the datum axis. We can see that the datum axis is highlighting down there. And we need a point as well. We can see the point highlighting down here. So we select the same point up here. We also have a hole that is based for the hole on the top as well. And we say OK to that. And there we go. So in our assembly, we now have the same appearance in both, except for the chamfer, which we wanted to leave out. So if I do a new compare body here, we select, and if you're unsure, the P1, we hover a bit longer so that we get the right revision of it and we get the selection menu up here. And we do a compare. And we can now see that we have more faces that are the same, meaning they're gray see-through faces. So they are the same. And we have the blue faces indicating, yeah, those are different between the two versions here. And we happen to know that it is in the chamfer area here. We do a double check, and we do a distance map as well to compare. And yeah, it is only in that area that we have the change and modification. So I hope this take you down a path where you find a good solution to your rebase. As said, there is a lot more to it than just copy paste. You have to really think of what you're doing in your process, and also the downstream processes, what is going to be used for and why. With that, I'm going to leave you, and I hope that it will help you. And I hope that all you good people out there are safe and sound, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Take care. Bye for now.